The drama surrounding this fight began long before the opening bell ever rang. Long before the punches were thrown and before the arena lights reflected off championship belts, there was doubt, there was skepticism, and perhaps most dangerous of all, there was open disrespect. In the weeks leading up to the fight, the reigning champion, Stephen Fulton, spoke confidently about the challenge ahead of him. To Fulton, the opponent moving up to face him was simply another fighter riding a wave of hype. He dismissed the knockout record and questioned the quality of opposition that had built the challenger's reputation. The power, he said, might impress the fans who look only at statistics, but inside the ring things would be different. In his mind, experience, size, and superior boxing skill would make the difference. The fighter he was talking about was Naoya Inoue, a man who had already built a terrifying reputation in lighter divisions, but was now stepping into completely new territory. Across the boxing world, many shared Fulton's belief. Moving up in weight has destroyed the dreams of countless champions. A fighter who dominates one division can suddenly look ordinary when facing naturally bigger opponents. The punches hit harder, the frames are stronger, and the room for error becomes dangerously small. Inoue had been unstoppable at bantamweight, but this was super bantamweight, a division filled with larger, seasoned fighters who had spent their careers thriving at that size. Fulton was not just another champion either. He was widely respected as one of the most intelligent technicians in boxing. His style was slick, tactical, and difficult to solve. He controlled distance with a sharp jab, slipped punches with smooth footwork, and frustrated opponents with his ring awareness. Many analysts predicted that Fulton would outbox Inoue, neutralizing his power and exposing the risks of moving up in weight. To them, this fight wasn't about crowning a new king. It was about testing whether the so-called monster could truly survive in a bigger jungle. But on that summer night in Tokyo, inside a packed arena filled with quiet anticipation, something unexpected began unfolding almost immediately. When the opening bell rang, Inoue didn't look like a man cautiously adjusting to a new division. He stepped forward with calm confidence, establishing his jab within seconds. The punch snapped sharply through the air, touching Fulton's guard and forcing the champion to respond earlier than expected. Fulton began circling the ring, attempting to create the space he usually controlled so effortlessly. His style depends heavily on movement and distance, allowing him to fight on his own terms. Yet something was different this time. Inoue wasn't chasing recklessly. He was cutting the ring off with surgical precision, positioning himself in ways that slowly reduced Fulton's escape routes. Each step forward seemed calculated, forcing the champion into exchanges he had hoped to avoid. The first round quickly revealed another surprise. Analysts had spent weeks praising Fulton's jab as a key weapon, but it was Inoue's jab that began dominating the exchanges. It wasn't just fast, it was versatile. Sometimes it shot toward the head, snapping Fulton's guard backward. Other times it stabbed to the body, forcing the champion to lower his defense. Occasionally, it served as a disguise for heavier punches waiting behind it. As the seconds ticked away, it became clear that the challenger wasn't simply competing, he was controlling the rhythm of the fight. The second round intensified that realization. Inoue began firing combinations with frightening precision, chaining together 4 punch sequences that targeted both the head and body. A jab would open the guard, a right hand would follow, and a hook to the ribs would close the attack before Fulton could fully respond. The champion remained composed, but the pace of the fight had clearly shifted away from his usual comfort zone. By the third round, Fulton attempted to regain momentum. He launched a quick flurry of punches that briefly energized the crowd and reminded everyone why he held 2 world titles. For a moment, it seemed possible that the fight might swing back in his favor, but the moment disappeared almost instantly. As Fulton pressed forward, Inoue timed a perfect counter left hook that halted the champion's advance and forced him backward. It was not the most devastating punch of the fight, but it carried a powerful message. Every attack would come with consequences. That psychological pressure began to shape the rest of the match. Fulton, normally confident in his offensive creativity, became more cautious. Every movement required careful thought, and every attempt to attack risked triggering another explosive counter. As the fight moved into the fourth round, the physical damage began to appear. Inoue landed a lightning-fast 1-2 combination that sliced through Fulton's defense and split his nose. Blood quickly became visible, staining the champion's face and adding another layer of tension to the contest. The Japanese crowd remained unusually quiet, watching every exchange with focused attention. In that silence, the sound of punches landing echoed sharply through the arena. It was becoming increasingly clear that Inoue's power had followed him into the higher weight class without losing its frightening edge. More surprising, however, was the technical brilliance he displayed. Many observers had expected a power puncher relying on knockouts. Instead, they were watching a master strategist systematically dismantle a champion known for his own tactical intelligence. Round 5 offered Fulton brief moments of success. He managed to land a few clean shots that reminded viewers of his skill and resilience. Yet those moments never developed into sustained momentum. Each time the champion tried to build an attack, Inoue's relentless pressure interrupted it. The challenger kept cutting angles, stepping forward behind his jab and forcing Fulton closer to the ropes. Even when punches were blocked or partially deflected, the sheer volume and accuracy of Inoue's offense made it impossible for the champion to settle into a rhythm. The fight had transformed into a slow tightening of noose. By the 6th round, Fulton's movement had noticeably slowed. The ring that once felt spacious now seemed smaller with every passing second. Inoue continued targeting the body, digging short hooks into the ribs and stomach, draining the champion's energy while maintaining constant pressure. Late in the round, a brutal combination landed cleanly, visibly staggering Fulton for the first time. The impact of those punches revealed just how dangerous Inoue truly was. His power wasn't just explosive, it was generated with perfect torque, allowing him to deliver devastating force from seemingly compact movements. Even when slightly off balance, he could unleash punches that carried shocking power. Round 7 marked the moment when Fulton's resistance truly began to crumble. Inoue's attacks to the body continued relentlessly, breaking down the champion's ability to move freely. Fulton attempted to fight back, throwing counters and short combinations, but the responses lacked the same sharpness as earlier rounds. Inoue sensed the shift and increased his pressure, stalking forward with the patience of a predator waiting for the perfect opening. Every jab pushed Fulton backward. Every combination forced him closer to danger. The champion was still standing, still fighting, but the balance of the contest had completely tilted. Then came the 8th round, the moment that would shock the world. Fulton stepped forward, perhaps trying to reclaim control, or perhaps attempting to disrupt Inoue's rhythm. But the challenger was already prepared. A crushing right hand exploded through Fulton's guard, landing squarely and instantly destabilizing the champion. Before he could recover, Inoue followed with a vicious left hook that sent Fulton crashing to the canvas. The crowd gasped as the champion lay on the floor beneath the bright arena lights. For a brief moment, the entire building seemed frozen in disbelief. Fulton managed to rise before the referee finished counting, demonstrating the heart of a true champion, but the damage was unmistakable. His legs wobbled and his balance betrayed him. Inoue saw the opportunity and surged forward with relentless aggression. Punch after punch rained down as he trapped Fulton near the ropes. Hooks, straights, and uppercuts came in rapid succession, each one driven by the same terrifying precision that had defined the fight from the beginning. Fulton attempted to defend himself, but the storm of punches was overwhelming. The referee stepped in and waved the fight off, ending the contest and sealing one of the most dominant victories of Inoue's career. In that moment, the nickname, The Monster, suddenly felt less like a nickname and more like an undeniable reality. The victory instantly reshaped the super bantamweight division. Inoue had not merely defeated a champion. He had dismantled one of the most respected technicians in boxing. Critics who doubted his move up in weight were silenced almost overnight. Analysts who predicted a tactical defeat were forced to reconsider their assumptions. Inoue's performance proved that his power, speed, and intelligence could translate across weight classes. Soon after that night, he continued his remarkable run by capturing undisputed supremacy in the super bantamweight division, an achievement that placed him among the rarest fighters in boxing history. Even more impressive, he accomplished this just months after becoming undisputed champion at bantamweight. Very few fighters have conquered two divisions with such authority. What makes Naoya Inoue truly special is not just his knockout power or his collection of championship belts. It is the extraordinary combination of attributes he brings into the ring. His accuracy is surgical, his speed is explosive, and his ring IQ allows him to adapt instantly to any opponent. He reads movements, predicts reactions, and punishes mistakes with ruthless efficiency. These qualities have placed him firmly among the top pound-for-pound fighters in the sport today, and many experts believe his career could eventually rank among the greatest in boxing history. Yet, the ultimate question remains open for debate. Is Naoya Inoue already one of the best fighters of this generation, or could he one day be remembered as one of the greatest of all time? Now, we want to hear from you. After watching this incredible performance, where do you rank Naoya Inoue among today's boxing superstars? Do you believe he has what it takes to become one of the greatest fighters in history? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story-driven breakdown of one of boxing's most shocking knockouts,